just got here at Hornsby Mazda, and I can already see there's a lot of pretty cool MX-5s around. So. Philip here. Alright, so what are we doing today here?
So today is all about the RF, which is a beautiful car.
Behind us.
I've got the launch of the RF. I thought, why not get a few dealers together and basically market the vehicle, get all the club members together. They're obviously all huge fans. Why not come to the dealership and actually look at it in the flesh itself, rather than just looking at the photographs, which I don't think do it justice. And here we are, and we're going to go and make use of all our MX-5s and take the Old Pacific Highway, which is really demonstrate what the MX-5 is all about.
So we're off driving an old pack now. All got like what 30 MX-5 behind us. I'm actually in the RF, and today is the event for the RF, and this is my first time sitting in the RF. It feels really nice. The difference between this and a normal ND, the interior itself, you have like the leather bound door cards. You don't get this color in the normal ND, do you?
No. This is the Napa leather.
This is Napa leather, and it also has this kind of brown maroon-ish kind of color. It makes it look a bit more posh. He drives an ND as well, as a kind of like a daily and an NA. First of all, how's the RF compared to the ND?
So having driven an ND for the last maybe 6 months, I was really impressed initially with the ND coming from an NA, that a lot of what in my mind personified the MX-5, and that is the driver with one Jinba Yatai. That feeling of agility, the nimbleness, all that was really, really present with the ND, which initially I had reservations, and with the evolution of the ND, which was really an overhaul from what was the previous generation, and the design of the car, everything was redesigned from the ground up. That really comes across in the ND, and the ability to feel the road when you're driving, when the intuitive nature of the steering, all that is really obviously impressive with the ND. In terms of the key differences, obviously there's been some safety packs that are featured, so obviously blind spot monitoring. There's some subtle changes with the upholstery that we can tell in this RF. It's the RF GT, so we're in the top of the line RF at the moment. So when we look at the vehicle from the outside, we'll be able to see that it's got a black roof as opposed to a body-coloured car, which at the moment we've got the pearl white here. I think with the roof itself, it obviously adds structural rigidity to the car. So I think feeling it through the corners, and especially this early section of Old Pacific Highway, I can definitely feel that the car still has that MX-5 feeling. But if we were to talk about key differences,
there's just a lone MX-5 here.
And there is a lone MX-5.
Hello.
This way. In terms of the way the car drives, there is a subtle difference, which I'm not sure whether we'll pick up in the car itself, is actually the resonance in the cabin from the exhaust and as well as the intake. I think that's one of the key differences I've noted in the car, and I'm not sure whether it's got to do with the cabin or there have been some fine tuning of the exhaust, which I do need to ask the question of. But definitely even the induction note and the exhaust sound a little bit different to the Roadster soft top.
Coming from an NA to ND, is it an upgrade? Is it just kind of like a different car? Is it
it's actually, it's, for me it was a really big deal, because, and actually it made me question a life decision of mine, and that is when I bought the NA, I'd been so in love with the shape, and I remember growing up as a teenager seeing this car with the pop-up lights. For me, that's what epitomized a sports car, and it was one of the reasons why I bought my NA more than 5 years ago, and I bought that NA with every intention of owning that car for life. Not only with the visual aesthetics of the car, but the way it drove, the emotional and the character that I got from the NA with the theme of the car, that vintage sort of retro theme.
Yeah.
I've got a tan leather interior, wooden steering wheel. All these things made me want to keep that car for a long time, and if anything, forever, as my second car. Jumping into the ND made me really question that, because what really surprised me was that the ND still had those that same sentiment of driving.
No, definitely. I mean, I've never driven the 2 liter before ever actually, but the first time I ever driven the ND was the 1.5 liter when it first came out, and my first actually initial thought or response was the car was perfect in a way that everything was where it had to be and it should be. Everything was in the right reach. The gear shift was in the perfect position. The steering was in the perfect position. My seating was in the perfect position. The car felt amazing. I think the only bad thing was storage. Now this is the thing that I have with the ND, right? Now you can make the car weigh less, that's fine, that's perfect. But do you have to get rid of all the storage? Can you actually have less storage than the first generation? Like, it's a bit of a step back, because to me, like, the car has no glove box. Yeah, it's a little cubby holder at the back. The armrest is like tinier than the NA. The boot is probably the same size, except the entrance to the boot is really small. That was the big thing. The one thing I like about the new ones, the Mazda listened, because we needed cup holders, and we finally got really good cup holders. I really like the system actually. They're removable, so like they're just like these little stalks where you can put them in different places around the car, so you can change your cup holders everywhere. And I thought that was really smart. I'm in Gavin's car now, in an NB, a really nice red NB. And for some reason, I suddenly feel, as soon as I went in, I felt like there's a lot more room than the ND, and I don't know if that's kind of just like an illusion or it actually is. I'm not sure about the facts there. It just felt like there's less instruments, obviously because it's an older car, and you feel like there's a lot more room and a lot more space surrounding you as well.
So it's a 2001 NB8B. It's pretty stock. Engine hasn't been touched or opened or anything. I've just done like, normal stuff, intake and the exhaust from the SE model, the turbo. Coilovers in there, and a really good wheel alignment made a big difference. But apart from that, just little interior bits, the wheels, put good brake pads and oils and everything in there, and it's good to go. I really like the idea of the ND. I think the MX-5s have, and including this one, they've gotten heavier and heavier. I like the fact they've brought it back, they've cut down the weight again. It's pretty simple, and they've kept with the recipe, so I don't think it can be that bad. Well, let's say, to look at, I'd go the RF, but considering it's probably a little bit more, it costs a bit more, I'd probably, if I was actually buying one with my own money, I'd just go a standard, I'd actually go a 1.5.
Alright, jumped into another car now. We're in an NC, and it's Nicole's NC.
Hi there.
In an amazing blue, by the way. NCs still feel great. Where'd you get an NC? Where'd you get an MX-5 to begin with?
Well, I've needed a sports car for a long time, and I've been driving, don't judge me, a Corolla for quite a while.
Oh, that's fine. It's a big stress reliever now, don't you?
It's pretty amazing. It's a lot of fun. I feel like it's bigger, but then somebody was saying the NC is actually bigger than the NDs. I like the roof.
Oh, the new RF?
The pop-up roof.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the RF. I want a soft top.
Oh, right, so you like the soft top?
Yeah.
Hopped into the another MX-5. This is actually Nick's new MX-5. Hello. You guys haven't seen it. They got it from Queensland the other time that I told you about. Very new MX-5.
Vlog might be coming out
Except
soon.
It's actually fake. You know how it's a fake MX-5? Doesn't even have speakers. This is where the songs come out from.
It's got tweeters.
Alright, Nick, how are you finding your new car?
I love it. It's so fun. For the value of what you pay for it, it's like 100%.
If you were to choose between the ND version, including every engine and every variation, what would you choose yourself?
So out of everything,
Yeah.
what would I choose? I'd choose this, of course.
way back home. I'm in NK's car. That was a pretty good kind of event. Good turnout, definitely good turnout. So many MX-5s and so many nice ones as well. And it was good to see the RF in person. It looks beautiful. Special thanks to Phil. You guys can call it just, you know. And also thanks to the 2 dealers that participated today. It's really good to see, I think, dealers that are willing to kind of hold events like this for the enthusiasts. Thanks to Hornsby Mazda and Central Coast Mazda for holding this event and willing to participate in the RF kind of MX-5 Club launch. Hope to see more events like this and hope to go to more MX-5 events, I guess. But yeah, yes, he was like,
Power to the people.
Power to the
MX-5.
Power to the MX-5. You know what? End.